Hey y'all, I'm Jody Walls.
I'm Brady Brock.
And Gumtree's proud to bring to you the Cody Stubblefield pregame show.
Go Bulldogs!
Make up in a game. You come out and hit them in the mouth on the first play, we're going to be fine.
Hello and welcome to Inside New Albany High School Football with Coach Cody Stubblefield and Mr. Paul Henry, brought to you by Gumtree Mortgage.
Yeah, Coach, we had a great week of football last week. The game didn't quite turn out the way we wanted it to do, but, I thought the Pontotoc game, we did a lot of great things. Of course, we didn't come away with the W, but talk to us a little bit about, I thought the first half we came out and looked really good, and had to leave at the half. And just kind of talk us through the first half.
Yeah, well, we were excited about getting back on the field. It's been a long time since we've been on the field. Our kids were excited about that. I think first half wise, we limited mistakes. We got after it. Offensively, we spread the ball around well. We got the ball to our receivers, which is what we want to do all the time. We had some success inside running the football. Defense flew around, made some tackles. Special teams was very good. At some point, we started making some mistakes. Went into halftime 27-7. The quarterback had looked well. I think we had thrown one pick over the middle and had really limited things as far as mistakes in the first half.
Well, I think that interception was a tip ball actually coming across the field, right?
It was high. It was high, and it got tipped up. Mason Simmons, we ran a snag concept where he tipped the ball up a little bit. We tell Joe he does a really good job for us, but we tell him all the time, if you're going to miss, you can't miss high over the middle.
Right.
So that was something we did there. Got into halftime, up with 27-7. We're thrilled about that. I think the guys have played well, played hard. One thing we went into halftime saying, Pontotoc was 3 plays away from being back in and leading the game. So I think typically anytime we go into the locker room, we focus on a few things. One, if you're up big, you want to make sure we stay focused, stay doing what we're supposed to do, and make sure we don't loosen up at all. We want our foot to be on the gas. If in the event you're down, you want to regroup, focus, try to figure out what we've got to change and make adjustments where you need to. If it's close, it's still a coaching thing. So when you're up, it's all about staying focused, not taking your foot off the gas, limiting mistakes. The same thing we went into the game with thinking due to what we did last year. So unfortunately, the second half didn't go as we planned. We had some turnovers that put us in bad position. Defensively, we played well for the most part throughout the night. But whether we put us in a bad position based on a turnover or whether we missed some tackles, we had some problems there. So give Pontotoc some credit. They came out and never stopped. They kept fighting, kept playing well. We just made too many mistakes to win the football game.
Well, before we go to the second half, can you talk a little bit about the things that were working in the first half? I mean, to be up 27-7 at half, the kids were playing well. Things seemed to be in a rhythm. So what were some of those things that were going well?
Well, I think on all 3 phases of the game, we were playing well. Special teams, we did a really good job of kicking off. We missed the opening tackle. Jarrell Bowling had a guy wrapped up, led to a big return. Other than that, our special teams was phenomenal the first half. Offensively, again, Pontotoc had a lot of guys in the box. When they crowd the box with the spread offense, we're able to get the ball on the edges. Isaiah Cron made some plays. Cameron Knox made some plays.
Throw the football. They were hoping you would have to throw the football.
Essentially, when you're crowding the box, our next option is to go and get the ball on the edges or take a shot down the field.
Sure.
So Joe, our quarterback, did a good job distributing the ball. As a result, you saw throughout the game that Pontotoc kind of shifted that focus from the box, and they started spreading out a little bit. So, our screen game was really good. Our quick passing game, we did some of those things, and we were still able to run the ball effectively enough the first half. So on defense, I think for the most part, the whole game, we flew around. We limited to what they were doing. I think they had roughly 60 yards of offense the first half. changed a little bit after halftime, whether we put them in a bad position or whatever. But so all three phases of the game, the first half, I think we did well. And as a result, we were up 27-7.
Who were some of those guys that scored in the first half?
I know Isaiah Karan scored a touchdown. C.J. Hill had 3 throughout the whole game. I'm trying to think back, not sure which ones were where. And Mason Simmons had another touchdown. So those kids had our 5 touchdowns throughout the night.
Yeah, and I guess to start the second half, we came out and I think we received the ball, and then one of those first couple plays, we turned the ball over and gave it to them.
Yeah, so they kicked off Isaiah Karan, a guy that, if we want him with the ball in his hands. Made a good return, got tied up in the pile. Guy came in late, forced a fumble. So, Isaiah's not a guy that fumbles a lot. We don't, he takes care of it for the most part. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, that particular play, we put the ball on the ground. So they took over. I believe they scored on that as a result, which put us within 2 scores. Offense kind of struggled through most of the third quarter. The box, like I said, loosened up. We weren't as effective in the run game as well as we'd like to be. Anytime you've got 6 or less in the box, we feel like we should be able to run the ball with our 5 offensive line, because typically we can read or throw off one of them. So we did not run the ball well enough as a whole. And then defensively, we didn't stop the run. Those are 2 things that we challenged our guys this week moving forward, to make sure we control the line of scrimmage, make sure we can run the ball, and make sure we limit the other team running the ball. So throughout the third quarter, we didn't do those things effectively enough. We also let a punt return. We had a guy that was out due to some cramps and other things. We had a sub in at that point. Didn't get our job done, didn't keep contained, and as a result gave up a touchdown on a punt return. So one of the other limits, things that happened that we've got to limit. We also had a block in the back on offense. We threw a screen to Isaiah. He sprung it, went about 60 yards or so, and got called back due to a block in the back. So turnovers, missed tackles. Missed assignments on some special teams, and then some penalties that should not have happened. You do that against a good team, it catches up with you. So that's what happened.
And it was such a tale of 2 halves, right? I mean, it was so different, the first half from the second half. But even though that happened, to close the game out, you get a score, you get a 2-point conversion, we go to overtime. So kind of talk to us about overtime.
Well, the first play of overtime, we fumbled. So, it doesn't get more of a crucial point of a game than overtime. In high school football, on
the 10, right?
On the 10, you start on the 10, you exchange possession. So
just like college, except starting on the 25, you start on the 10.
Right. So they won the toss. We got the ball first. We started on the 10-yard line. Sure. We technically get 4 plays to do something, then they'll turn around and they get 4 plays. So we went to our heavy set. We had Shamarcus Smith, A.I. Nugent, and C.J. Hill in the backfield with our 5 linemen and 2 tight ends. So we were in heavy. We had punched at one in earlier throughout the game, going for it on 4th and 2, where I ran a power play out of it and scored.
Sure.
We went right back to that. We kept it a little tighter than we probably should have. A pile happens. In that pile, the ball is stripped, and we lose the ball. So anytime you lose a possession in overtime, you're putting yourself at risk of losing the game. Right. So defense came out, stopped them for 3 downs, kicked the field goal, made the field goal to win the game. So you can't turn the ball over. You can't make some of the mistakes we made in the first half.
Credit to their field goal kicker. I mean, he was solid the whole night. You line up, you got to make a field goal, and he did it.
Well, bottom line is you turned the ball over 4 times, and the game was still close. We still had a shot to win that thing.
Yeah, we had 4 turnovers, a touchdown called back, a lot of missed tackles, and we were still right there in it. So I think that's a credit to the talent that we've got on the team.
No doubt.
I think those are mistakes you're not going to see us continue to make. Absolutely. I think our guys have I hope we've learned from that. I hope we've seen that and experienced that. Those are the things that we would have liked to have maybe gotten out of the way in that Nettleton scrimmage that didn't get to happen. Right. As a result, it is what it is. We got beat against a good football team, against a team that we should beat. Was what I would say to that. Like you said, we played well the first half. We limited those mistakes. The second half was a different story.
And all you can ask for in a game is to come to the last 2 minutes with a chance to win.
Especially on the road.
That's
on
right.
The road,
And we had that chance.
And give those guys, like I said, some credit. They didn't stop fighting. Coach Carter does a really good job there. Anytime we go just up the road north or south,
Right.
when we're playing Ripley and Pontotoc, we want to win that one.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, we came up a little bit short this time.
Well, knowing you and knowing you guys, had the weekend, what do we see coming back in Monday? I know y'all were getting after it Monday.
Well, regardless of the outcome of any game, we're going to still get after it, learn from mistakes, coach hard, and practice hard. So our guys have done that. They came in on Labor Day on a holiday, went through it, watched film, got better, learned from mistakes. Ball security is something we do every week. It was maybe emphasized even more this week.
Sure.
Our running backs know that we got to keep the ball high and tight. There are 4 points of contact on a football with my hand, to my forearm, to my chest, to my bicep. So those are things that are emphasized. And that's not just a running back thing. That's a receiver and a skill position thing.
Sure.
If you handle the ball, you do that.
Right.
I challenged the guys today. Today was our walkthrough on a Thursday. Challenged our offensive defensive line to control the line of scrimmage tomorrow night when we play Booneville. If we can do that, we're good enough skill-wise to continue to spread the ball around. And when we control the line of scrimmage and have the skill guys that we've got, we're a scary team.
Yeah, and the early in August and really late in August and early September, heat and fatigue and dehydration always seems to play more of a factor because
Sure.
the bodies aren't 100% in shape, because really there's no shape like game shape.
Yeah.
You can go as hard as you want in practice, but there's no shape like game shape. So how much did fatigue and heat, humidity play a factor in the game, or did it?
Well, I think we had some kids cramping. Pontotoc had some kids cramping. I would say the number one spot that it affected us was on that punt. When we had a sub in there who hadn't quite gotten the same amount of reps. We had a guy that was on the sideline. Mason Simmons was on the sideline. We had a sub for him on punt team who hadn't done it quite as much. As a result, gave up a big play. That was points that, ended up, essentially costing us the game. So there were a lot of different plays in Friday night's game. If you could go back and do something just a little bit different,
Right.
we could be successful. Later in the game, I believe it was early fourth quarter, late third quarter, we went for it on fourth and about 3 yards. Didn't get it. We had done the same thing from 4th and 2 and have gotten it. From an offensive line standpoint and background that I came from, when it's 4th and short, I've got to have faith in those guys that we're going to get it. In hindsight, a field goal would have put us up 2 scores. Would have probably been the correct call, especially after the fact that we didn't get it. But, I think that's just the confidence I've got in our team and our guys and our running back that led us to go for it. Again, unfortunately, it didn't happen. And, a field goal, 3 points would have been nice for sure.
If you got it, you're a genius. And if you don't get it, that's how it goes.
That's just rolling the dice, and that was the call we made. So,
But you can't, to have confidence in your guys to get it, that's valuable. If I were one of your players, that would be important to me, that you trusted me to have a chance to get that fourth down. And sometimes you got to go for them.
Sure. Well, like I said, we did it twice. We got one of them. We didn't get the second one. So, again, hindsight's 20/20, and I think we do it again, we'll get it the next time.
All right, we're moving on to Friday night. Got a first home game.
Yep.
Got the Blue Devils coming to town.
Yeah,
Tell us what we know.
So Booneville's coming to town. It's senior night. We've bumped it up to our first home game. So we've got 16 seniors on the team. We're excited about being able to honor them before the game.
Right.
Cross country, band, cheer, and ROTC are also going to be honored. But Booneville's coming in. They're a good football team. They've got a quarterback that is a senior that's been starting for them for a long time. They've got, kind of like us, they've got some skill guys that go both ways. They've got some big guys that play both ways. So you'll see them on offense, rolling a lot of guys in at receiver. The running back number 2, and then they've got a smaller running back. Both of those are faster, smaller guys, a lot like Pontoc's type running backs. And they're big up front. So, they're well coached. Mike Maddox does a good job. Booneville been there for a long time. So it's going to be another game that we're going to have to scratch and claw and limit mistakes in order to be successful. So on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, and he was a coordinator there before he became the head coach.
That's right.
He's been there for a long, long time.
Sure.
And he does a great job. Tell me, can you talk a little more about senior night?
Yeah. So
what's that going to look like? What time's it going to start?
Well,
all that kind of stuff.
So senior night, the participants are getting there at 6 o'clock. Senior night actually starts at 6:30.
Okay.
I think we're going to live stream that. We're going to be able to show that. But each senior, whether they're involved in football, cheer, ROTC, band, and cross country. We're going to let them and a family member come up there, announce their name, give them a little small token of our appreciation, and recognize them as a senior.
And can you explain to people why senior night was moved to this first home game?
Well, I guess the unknown of COVID-19 and the fear of maybe at some point not being able to get it in. We know we're going to be able to play tomorrow night. We want to push that to tomorrow night so that if something were to go wrong and we not to get to continue, we've already recognized our seniors.
And I thought that was a real smart decision on y'all's part, you and Mr. Farrell, Mr. Tintoni, all the administrators at the school, going ahead and looking into the future and being proactive and making sure that the seniors go ahead and get a senior night. So that I invite everybody to come out and be part of that. The games normally start at 7. But they'll get to participate in senior night at 6:30. So if you want to see senior night, you can get there 30 minutes early this week.
That's right.
Yeah, and one thing's great, all of our kids go out and represent us so well. The school district, the city and everything, we want to make that a priority to make sure we show appreciation to them.
Sure, and the live stream is going to be great. Like I said, season tickets and tickets in general, are limited tomorrow night due to some of the restrictions.
Can you tell us about those restrictions? Now, I know that since the last time we did a show, the restrictions changed.
Yeah.
What are the restrictions currently?
So you basically have the option to do 2 tickets per participant, or you can do 25% of your stadium capacity.
Okay.
So, we've got a stadium, a home side, that I believe was right 1550 as far as our home side. So we basically can do that number, 25% of that, or give our students 2 tickets per participant. We're choosing to do the 25%. So we've been able to give our seniors 2 free tickets. They've also had the option to buy 2 more additionally. And then anybody participating in the game, whether it's the band, cheer, ROTC, or football, are going to get their 2 tickets as well.
Wow.
So that takes care of the people who are participating first. There's been some announcements made where a few students are getting able to buy tickets, and if there was any left over from week to week, we'll give the public a chance to buy those as well.
And so tomorrow night, if a fan wants to come and watch the game in person, can they come buy a ticket, or do they have to get it from a participant?
Not this week due to senior night. And the giving those 2 tickets to all of our seniors, we're not going to be able to do that this week. I think they made some announcements and opened it up to students. They will be putting something out tomorrow. If there are any tickets available, there'll be some announcements, whether it's Twitter and Facebook and stuff. At this point, I don't believe there are going to be any.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I think it's really important just to remind again, and I think Mr. Henry and our Coach Stubblefield will echo this. We don't want it to be this way. We want a stadium full of people. We want everybody in New Albany on every Friday night when we have a game here to come to every game and to fill the stands up. So we're so sorry and so sad that only 25% capacity can be filled, but that's just right now the governor's order.
Right. Well, the big thing is for these seniors, whether it's, again, football, cheer, band, ROTC, we want them to get to have that Friday night experience. We want those football guys to be on the field doing what they love. So we're grateful for the opportunity to do that.
Sure.
And then, so we've got the second part of that is getting parents, getting supporters, family members who can watch those and support their kids to be in there. So we're able to do that. And then the next priority is our students and our supporters and stuff like that. So we're doing everything we can to get as many people in that stadium as possible. And, we're very grateful for the people who support us. Hopefully at some point it's turned loose and we're able to get as many people that can fill that stadium up as possible.
And it sounds like you really thought through the process. And I meant to mention Mr. Spears as well is one of the administrators at the high school, but it sounds like y'all really thought through how you're going to delegate those tickets.
Well, the priority's got to be those participants. And then, like I said, we live in a great community. We want everybody to get to experience it, which is why we've done so much with the live stream lately.
Sure.
Well, I guess this is the question. We've got a tradition-rich Boonville team that's coming in. What are going to be the keys to success Friday night?
Well, I said it earlier, I challenged the offensive and defensive line to take care of the line of scrimmage. I talked a little bit about them on offense. On defense, they're big again. They've got some of the same guys playing offensive line, playing defense. They've got a 6'3", 255-pound defensive end that is in addition to those offensive linemen.
What number is he, do you know?
He's 20. You'll see on defense, you'll see 20 at defensive end, 72 and 76. And when you see them, they're big boys. So the inside linebackers also play offense. Their H-back and tight end guy is a kid that you'll see at inside linebacker. 23 is a safety. You'll see him a receiver. Number 5 is a guy that you'll see several places. So a lot like us, you're going to see guys in several different positions. But I think the keys are to control the line of scrimmage. We want to make sure we establish the run game on offense. That's going to open up everything else.
Sure.
If they're focused on the box, then we're going to be able to hurt them outside the box. We want to spread the ball around, get it to our playmakers. We're going to take a shot over the top from time to time to keep a defense honest and stretch the field. And then on defense, we want to continue to fly around the football. We want to limit missed tackles. Our defensive line, we want to make sure we get in our gap and control our gap. And linebackers, as a result, be in their gap and be responsible for it. On the edge, we want those outside linebackers to play fast and cause a lot of havoc. In the secondary, be solid, be where we're supposed to be, and then come up when we need to and make a tackle.
Sure.
So you studied the film.
Sure.
And as a fan, when I show up to a stadium, when Boomel's on offense, who are the players I need to watch for by number, so that when I walk in the stadium, I can go ahead and start watching?
Yeah. So number 4 is their leader. He's the quarterback. I think he was 13 of 15 last week. Threw the ball exceptionally well. Extremely accurate. A really good quick trigger. They're going to kind of go as he goes. They've got the running back that started was number 2. Fast, shifty running back.
Okay.
Want to hit him before he gets really going. Doesn't seem to be on film overly hard to get down, but he is fast. On the edge, 23 is probably their top receiver. He'll be on the right side most of the time.
Same one playing on defense.
Same one playing safety. I think he had 2 catches for 65 yards. One of them was about a 50-yard touchdown pass for the safety. Ripley. Okay. So I think they beat Ripley 22-12, something like that, somewhere around 10 points. Like I said, if we execute on offense and are able to control the line of scrimmage, run the ball, if we fly around on defense and make tackles, and then special teams play as well as we did last year, but limit those key mistakes, limit turnovers, limit penalties, limit missed tackles, I think we're going to be successful every week in and week out. So we're going to make sure we emphasize that line of scrimmage and being able to run the football, and then defense, we're going to make sure we limit missed tackles.
And so when I look at their offense, are they spreading it out?
Yeah, they do a lot of the same things we do. They're going to be able to be in a spread where they're 2x2 or 3x1. You'll see them in empty from time to time. You'll also bring up that one of their tight ends that's out wide, split out. And he'll also come in and play H-back as well. So offensively, you will see a lot of the same things. And then defensively, they play a little bit different coverage than we do. Their primary thing is to stop the run, which is most people. So I think, we'll have an opportunity to maybe hurt them with some of the stuff we do with our skilled people on the edge.
And for their quarterback to be 13 of 15, are they throwing it down the field very much, or is that because he's throwing a lot of short game stuff that's easy completion?
Well, it also tells you their O-line did a pretty good job last week to protect him, right?
Well, like I said, the O-line's big. And the quarterback, it's pretty balanced. They did take some shots down the field. I said a while ago, 23 called a touchdown pass, about 50 yards. They threw a vertical concept on the outside where the safety didn't get over the top, and he got it to him. So some of the stuff's been underneath. So they're a balanced offense, which I would say we are very comparable to them as far as being balanced and trying to do some of the things we do. Again, football is all about blocking and tackling. So they're going to throw the ball around. So they want to, we want to pressure the quarterback, make him make quick decisions, and DBs we want to tighten those windows down.
Absolutely.
So I think we're definitely capable of doing that. And but the exciting thing is, every week in and week out, we get to line up. We get to put our best chance to be successful on offense, defense, and special teams, and then we get to go do it Friday night, and we turn loose and then just play. So, the high school kids are very excited about just the opportunity to get back out there and rebound from last week.
When you remember what Coach Monroe used to say, the best secondary is a good pass rush. So
sure.
Sometimes just having a good pass rush make those secondary guys look a lot better. But I'm also happy that we're sitting here talking about football and not how we cancel things and how we're not getting to play football. So I'm proud that we've been fortunate in our district through our precautions to be playing football.
Sure.
So, Mr. Henry, is there anything else you've got?
Not much. I'm just ready to watch a good game and hope our guys go out there and execute well and limit the mistakes there. And I think we're going to come out with a W tomorrow night.
Like I said, we always week in, week out, we want to play hard, want to play fast, and limit those mistakes. And we do that, we're going to be fine. So.
Well, for Mr. Paul Henry and Coach Cody Stubblefield, I'm Robert Garrett. We want to thank you for watching the Inside New Albany High School Football with Coach Cody Stubblefield, brought to you by Gumtree Mortgage. And we hope to see you next week. Go Bulldogs.
Go Dogs.
Thanks for joining us for the pregame show.
Hey guys, anytime we can help you with your mortgage needs, just give Jody or I a call at Gumtree Mortgage. Thanks.
Go Dogs.